And your biz. Let me go ahead and turn off that additional mic. Oh, little pop right there. Welcome back to Mind Your Biz. My name is Seth. Go ahead and smash that like button. Be subscribed if you're not already, and share this video while we're live. You subscribe to this channel so that you are aware of all of the latest news, all of the latest updates, and including updates to cryptocurrencies that you can mine with your computer, that you can mine with ASICs, stuff that you can mine at home, and of course all the rest of the news that affects you if you are speculating on cryptocurrencies, paying attention to DeFi, getting involved in NFTs, or just want to be a more secure user of cryptos. If you have not already subscribed, do so now. Just a reminder, nothing that we talk about on this show is meant to be any kind of legal, financial, or business advice. But before we jump into the main content, let's start by looking at the Fear and Greed Index. This is a pretty important measurement of what's going on in the ecosystem, pretty important measurement of how people are feeling about cryptocurrencies, about Bitcoin and all the rest. Current score is 48, down from yesterday's score of 55 and down from last week's score of 60. What's going on? It means that people are starting to get a little more fearful. We haven't moved entirely into fear, but this is a function of what's happening in the regulatory ecosystem, what's happening with inflation numbers. It's sort of a big picture overview of how people are feeling about cryptocurrencies. So let's take a deeper dive here. Take a closer look. Yeah, already starting to return towards fear. I think a lot of this has to do with the recent announcements from the SEC, or the action from the SEC against Kraken, and sort of the broad announcement of the SEC against staking. Tell me in the comments, do you stake any cryptocurrencies? If so, is this going to affect you? Well, I guess you don't have to tell me that you're staking, but tell me if you think this is going to affect you, that the SEC has come out in an anti-staking stance. Yeah, they think this makes it a security. Tell me what you think. I'd love to know. All right, that's our Fear and Greed Index. It's a trailing indicator, though. I think that it's much more affected by the current price action. There we go. Singularity Net is still our biggest gainer over the last week. And Frax Share. This is an algorithmic stablecoin ecosystem. The Frax dollar is their stablecoin. Lido is up 21%. Hex is up 36%. It's nearing that 5-cent mark. GRT, again, the graph is still up over the last week. Not too big a shock since these coins were up on our Tuesday show, so not much has changed since that time. Casper Network also up pretty high, though not as high as its recent top. Right, its most recent top was 4.5 cents. We're all the way back down to 3.9. We got some comments coming in. Want to say hello to everybody who's saying hello in the comments. Jess M says, thank you for staying with the streams. Thank you so much, Jess. Really appreciate the encouragement. Thank you so much for the support. And it looks as though we've lost our CIA tail here on YouTube, unless one of you is with the CIA. I think you have to tell me if I say that. I think you have to let us know that you're with the CIA if we ask. There we go. Much brighter light. That ought to help make things a little less weird here as well. Actually, I just look very pasty when I do that. I look very, very gaunt. Kevin Hawthorne is tuning in from Lakeland, Florida. Thank you so much for saying hello. Automatic Beat says, what's up, everyone? And Gandalf Gray says, yo, what's up, fam? Nothing like crypto while I practice guitar. That's amazing. I somehow hear you playing dueling banjos right now, which is not appropriate because you are, in fact, playing a guitar, but that's all right. Crypto Curious says, first in line for the best show in town. Thank you for that. Let's take a look at the current Bitcoin price, shall we? The chart shows us that Bitcoin is breaking to the downside of that descending wedge that we drew with the chopsticks. I was expecting some kind of a breakout, and for a while, I've been anticipating that we have more downward price action. You've had some people telling you that, well, I guess this is the new normal. Bitcoin's going to be over 20,000 now because obviously up only from this point on. I disagree. I think that we haven't even seen real capitulation yet. And I think actions from the SEC and other government agencies are going to make it that much more difficult for Bitcoin to hold that really strong price. In particular, the rise in inflation, right? The consumer price index is going to, in my mind, going to have a negative effect. And worse, what the Fed is deciding with interest rates and what's being decided as far as raising the debt ceiling here in the United States is going to lead inevitably to quantitative easing, and that quantitative easing will maybe bring price back up a little bit, but it will eventually have to deflate. The bubble will pop. Eventually, we have to pay the piper, right? We can't just keep printing money indefinitely. It's going to be a serious problem if we do. So So yeah, there you go. Corey says, yo, where's the wife? I liked the couple stream last time I listened to you. LOL. Well, Mama Biz might be able to stop in for just a minute, but right now, Mama Biz is she is helping tremendously by handling some domestic duties. It's been a really rough day for me at work, and it's been a really rough day with the family. And so, yeah, we're playing zones right now. That's all I can say about that. She is not available to be on the stream tonight. Maybe if we get her for a minute, I hope that she is. Smash that like, share the stream while we're live, and who knows, maybe she'll stop in. But I make no promises. Yeah, that price action on Bitcoin. Am I saying like, oh yeah, we need a lot more red candles? It's definitely going down. I don't have anything to show you there, right? I have no indicators that's going to prove that Bitcoin will definitely bleed out any more than it currently has. But yeah, call it a hunch, call it just an informed guess that we do have more downside eventually in Bitcoin. And do I want the price to go up? Of course I do. Do I want to get more exposure to Bitcoin at lower than this price? Of course I do. Both those things can be true, right? I want Bitcoin to do well. I want it to be strong, but I want it to be adopted by more people. And that might mean getting it at a lower price. Integra Guy says, yo, Crypto Crag, yo, and no worries, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So, yeah, we're going to be flying solo tonight, gentlemen and lady and ladies. Anyway. There's always one somewhere. But that's our current Bitcoin chart. I'm not moving a thing here. I don't think that's a solid enough movement over the last couple of days for us to make any kind of changes. Current MACD is still, it's diverging, and we're in a bearish histogram down there below. Heard people talk about us potentially hitting the death cross. What will happen if we hit the death cross? Well, I mean, we threatened to hit the death cross before, and then we actually did hit it. It did cause intense bearishness. So if we kind of pull back downward again, I don't know that actually matters. I think that the models are kind of broken for the people who do technical analysis. That said, technical analysis for me is it's kind of witchcraft. So, well, anyway, with that said, this is not meant to be your advice on how to execute your trades. This is really just meant to be a very simple look at these charts and these markets and some of the news so you can make more informed decisions. So you come here to be educated and entertained. Don't get it twisted. All right. Let's move on to some of our news. Russia is offering a subsidy on crypto mining in Siberia. And this is probably what you saw by way of our clickbait title and thumbnail. But yeah, apparently there are tax breaks to people who want to invest in cryptocurrency mining infrastructure. And since the Ukraine war and the financial sanctions, the Russian government has reversed its stance on cryptocurrency. Wow. The tables have turned. Apparently, Russia sees they've got this phenomenal infrastructure for mining out in Siberia because it's cold as balls. So you can put mining gear out there and you're not going to wreck it because it's going to stay nice and cool. And you have plenty of water flows around there. So they should be able to prop up a bit of a hydroelectric facility without too much difficulty. And of course, these are the Russians we're talking about. They know a thing or two about nuclear technology, and they probably have some decommissioned nuclear cores somewhere that they could use to power a small facility. I would actually be worried by this threat because if the Russians decide that they are serious about it, then they might do it very well. They just might. Could China do the same thing? They could. They haven't. They at least publicly made it seem as though they were not interested in mining. But now that Russia is openly saying that they're interested in mining, I think we should watch out. So I don't think they're to be taken lightly here. But apparently, the news came out yesterday, the Russian media agency RBC. So, yeah, they said there's a crypto mining center in, a part of Siberia, East Siberia, and a constituent republic of the Russian Federation. And this facility will have 30,000 mining machines, employ 100 people, and draw 100 megawatts directly from the power grid. There's no additional power generation just for that facility. And it'll open up before the end of Q2 of this year. So just a few more months before this facility is totally open. That's it's not the most aggressive thing. I've definitely seen facilities that deploy faster than that. But as far as it being sustainable, that's pretty fast. Yeah, pretty fast spin up there. So Jesse M. The red screen. Yeah, I had to do the red screen. It's part of the game. Thanks for playing. But apparently it's their largest. So there's a large provider of cryptocurrency mining colocation services called Trover. They will own and operate the center. This is the sort of thing that I mentioned months ago. I forget whose show I was on, but I mentioned that it might come to this. So the United States, if we're taking this threat seriously, we might have to take stock of the number of domestic crypto miners that are doing business here in the US, right? Not just domestic business owners or business interests that are mining around the world, but the amount of mining gear that we actually have physically located here. And as part of a concerted cyber war effort or monetary war effort, there may be a need for miners here to start contributing hash rate to pools to prevent 51% attacks from the rest of the global mining ecosystem. And now, how is that even possible? How could that happen? Well, it would require a couple of mining pools internationally to work in collusion, but some of the biggest mining pools in the world are not based in the U.S. and not controlled by U.S. citizens. So it's not unreasonable to believe that it's possible for mining interests to collude against American interests, right? So other mining pools, other mining operators that if they were put under pressure, that they would not watch out for the good of the ecosystem or the network, but they would watch out for the good of their own national pride and, of course, their own interests, right? Feeding their own families and taking care of their own business. So, yeah, it's a scary thing to think about, but it's entirely possible that the U.S. may be asking miners to point hash rate in specific ways, or that we might be beefing up our IT infrastructure here in the United States to counteract a move like this, where you got a bunch of miners that are beginning to go online out in Siberia to support the Russian Federation and its financial goals. So, weird thing to think about. I know, very, very weird thing to think about. Automatic Beat says, I turned the stream off during the red screen, so it's all financial advice for me. I mean, that's fair. Logically, I can't argue with that logic. So, here's the thing. I'm going to read that again. What did you say? I turned the stream off? Oh, I need a soundboard. I need air horns. Red screened. So, yeah, this is interesting stuff. Tell me what you think about this development out in Siberia, the Russian Federation inviting for people to set this up. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this good? Is this bad? Is it good for Bitcoin? Is it bad for the ecosystem? Is it only good for the Russian Federation? Is it only good for the investors who are curious enough that they go and put their money into machines that are going to go live in Siberia? You tell me in the comments. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Next bit of news comes from Decrypt. Apparently, an on-chain monkey NFT doubled in price after creators put them on Bitcoin. Yeah, so if you haven't been looking up the whole ordinals and inscriptions phenomenon on Bitcoin, it's essentially NFTs or additional information being written into Bitcoin blocks. So Bitcoin has become something of an experimental playground for NFT creators to mint new NFTs. Yeah, it's all the rage, I'm told. And apparently this creator won big. So that a record-setting mint, extremely high-value sales. As far as the resale value, I don't know how the secondary sales are working. I don't know whether or not royalties are working with the inscriptions, the so-called ordinals and inscriptions on Bitcoin right now, because it's not quite the same smart contract ecosystem as Ethereum. It's not quite as robust. However, the original owner can sell them at a certain price. So pardon my ignorance, I'm not totally clear on how the minting process goes and how royalties, any royalties, if there are any, are being paid out. So that'll be cool to see how that actually plays out. On-Chain Monkey, a collection of 10,000 Ethereum NFT profile pictures minted in 2021, used ordinals to inscribe all its existing artwork on Bitcoin over the past day. Now, the NFT holders on Ethereum can also say their respective collectibles live on Bitcoin. Kind of funny. So apparently, the project jumped from 0.8 ETH, give or take, to about 1.75 ETH before settling to about 1.5, almost $2,500 as of the time of writing. Pretty surreal. It's got a 12,000 increase in NFT trading volume for that project over the past 24 hours compared to the previous 24 hours. And apparently that's $1 million in sales over the last day for a project with lifetime secondary sales totaling almost 39 million. So they've done really well. There's a startup behind this one. They actually did start funded, MetaGood. They said they put all 10,000 NFTs onto Bitcoin via the Ordinals protocol using a single transaction, much as it did for the original Ethereum collection back in 2021. Now, let's take a look at some of this. Here's the On-Chain Monkey, the primary project page. So they've got, very simple artwork. There it is. It's everything you would expect. And then the inscription, so ordinals.com, that is their page right there. They, there you go, inscription 2219. And here are all the parts of that collection. See, offset. Yeah, pretty crazy. So there's already a block explorer for this. Kind of cool. Maybe we should get into this and mint something on Ordinals. But apparently, it's all right there. Frequently asked questions, how to. All available directly on ordinals.com or docs.ordinals.com. What do you think, Mind Your Biz community? Should we mint something over there? Should we have some kind of a drop of NFTs on the Bitcoin network? It might be fun. I don't know how I'd feel about it. Ideologically, it's not why I'm interested in Bitcoin, but I'm not against it either. There are a lot of maximalists who say it's the worst thing to ever happen to Bitcoin because it's increased the block size and it's increased the gas fees, or rather the transfer fees on Bitcoin. I think maybe we should even go out of our way to see exactly what that looks like. So over on TX Street, let's load that up. See exactly what that looks like over on Bitcoin. Looks like the median transaction fee is still only 44 cents. It's not that bad, right? So we haven't pumped up the gas fees or the transfer fees on Bitcoin all that much. Crypto Crag says I should. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. We'll take a look at that. Though if I did do it, I would do it from Samurai Wallet. So I have post-mix Satoshis that are used for all that. But it would be pretty cool, right? Looks like, our pricing on Bitcoin is not all that much increased. So for as much as there's new stuff happening on Bitcoin, it hasn't completely slowed down the network. So I don't know what the maximalists are complaining about. Maybe the cost in terms of median for sats, in terms of sats per VByte, maybe that's gone up a little bit, but not appreciably. I mean, the cost, the real world or dollar cost to send any kind of Bitcoin is still under $1. It's under 50 cents. That's not bad at all. So I don't know. I'm not mad at them. Weird? Probably weird. Anyway, MetaGood said that it put all 10,000 onto Bitcoin. In a Twitter Spaces, the MetaGood co-founder Danny Yang said that enabling trading was the next step for the team, but suggested that other tooling needs to be created around Ordinals to facilitate that feature. He also noted that MetaGood plans to build a bridge between Ethereum and Bitcoin to let NFT holders switch between the two versions. They are the same on both chains, an On-Chain Monkey Discord moderator wrote earlier today. Buy on ETH and you will have access to the BTC version when the tools catch up. Apparently, Amanda Terry, was not able to make comment. Project's Discord server is filling up with users who claim to have purchased one of the Ethereum NFTs following the Bitcoin announcement and are asking for details on how it will work. Ooh, crazy. Apparently, On-Chain Monkey is part of their push to use Web3 initiatives to fund programs that benefit communities, including funding coral restoration and providing aid to Ukraine amid the Russian invasion. The company was co-founded by a venture capitalist, Bill Tai, alongside Terry and Yang. They did a $5 million raise before they did this. That's kind of the crazy thing, is that a lot of these really high profile, or a lot of any of the high profile NFT collections, they did have some kind of VC raise before they got started. So there's something to take away from that, which is that very little of the NFT community is as organic as you might think. It's almost always coming from some kind of funding or from some kind of promotional work. So just be aware. It's how the game is played. And they did a great job. Like, this was free publicity for them to just remint over on Bitcoin. Kind of cool. But apparently, On-Chain Monkey represents the first 10,000 NFT project to be minted on Ordinals, a claim that the creators of Bitcoin Punks, a clone of popular Ethereum crypto project CryptoPunks, have also made. So it's a little fight. It's an NFT nerd fight between these two communities. Crypto Crag says, from my understanding, you need your own BTC node as part of the process. Yeah, okay. That's not too difficult. I mean, running a full Bitcoin node is not the hardest thing in the world. So, all right, challenge accepted. We'll figure that out. But what other news do we have? Big one when it comes to staking. Talked about it earlier on in the stream, and that is that Kraken is going to shut off its crypto staking service in the U.S. because there's a $30 million fine from the SEC. Ouch. Like, I hate that that's the way it's ending, but that's the way it's ending over on Kraken. They will immediately end crypto staking as a service for U.S. customers, pay $30 million to the SEC charges that it offered unregistered securities. That's why they're charging it. Ooh, and yeah, that's that. They've gotten their hands slapped, gotten their wrist slapped, and they've got to stop right away. The complaint alleges that Kraken touts that its staking investment program offers an easy-to-use platform and benefits that derive from Kraken's efforts on behalf of investors. Including Kraken strategies to obtain regular investment returns and payouts. Jeez Louise. The SEC's characterization of Kraken's staking setup highlighted the risks investors take on when staking their tokens with a staking as a service provider, which give them very little protection, a press release said. Yeah, no, this is just the SEC trying to find any company that they can take to court for any reason. It's obviously regulation by enforcement, and I don't like it. Do you? I doubt you do. Whether it's through staking as a service, lending, or other means, crypto intermediaries, when offering investment contracts in exchange for investors' tokens, need to provide the proper disclosures and safeguards required by our securities laws, said SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Today's action should make clear to the marketplace that staking as a service providers must register and provide full, fair, and truthful disclosure and investor protection. Thanks for that, Gary. Thank you so much. That's amazing. You are a national treasure. You will be missed when your tenure is up. All right, DeFi Llama. Ethereum, still the king daddy. We're not shocked. This is just how it goes. Gandalf Gray says, well, it was fun while it lasted. Kraken, they paid out nicely before I took all my crypto out of there. Yeah, right? You took all your crypto out of there, and Kraken suffered a boating accident at the same time. I hear you. Life is rough. So, Ethereum, still king daddy. BSC, second place. Tron, in third place. Unless, of course, you pay attention to who is actually using it, in which case then it's barely not even in the top 10. Is it even in the top 15, top 20, top 30, top 35? Yes, barely. That's when Tron comes back into the mix. The thing that makes Tron look unique on this other representation of the data is that it has pretty high TVL. That makes it number 3, $5 billion worth of value locked. Well, why? Here's why. Just Lend, Just Stables, Sun, Social Swap, Unify, Neopin. Wow. Just a lending platform here. And then Just Stables, so collateralized debt position. Let's take a look at that. Just Stables. Decentralized finance system of USDJ stablecoin for everyone, anywhere, anytime. Wow. Okay. Take a look at them on Twitter. Just Foundation. Building the financial infrastructure for billions of people around the world. On Tron. Wow. Gordon Murray's in the chat says, what's up, Seth? Listening on my drive home. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you. Gandalf Gray says, thank God Gary is here to save us all us regular investors, while all the accredited people can continue to do as they please with their money. Yeah, they're the ones that deserve all the alpha. We should be kept away from all the risk. Because, that'll put us in line to get all the alpha too, right? If we just take away all the risk. Whew, man. Lord knows we could use it. All right, Just Foundation. Man. Well, to their credit, this looks like it's probably an organic Twitter following right here. Having only 16 likes on something like this, which is kind of lackluster, that's normal. That's what it should look like. Same with some of the others as well, showing off their dashboard. Oh, man. Ugh. Does anybody use Tron anymore? Whatever. Apparently, somebody does. Geek of All Trades is in the chat. Says, yo! Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Cost to mine with one full Bitcoin. Let's do it. Oh, not that. Not that. That. Okay, only 3 numbers. Got to do them in the right order. That helps out a lot. Mind your biz. Who makes those dapper thumbnails you got there? Well, I'm glad you asked. I do every now and then when I feel like absolutely punishing myself by putting extra work into my day. But I'm glad you asked. I like making my thumbnails, but I could probably use help at some point. Crypto Crack says, yo, Geek of All Trades. Crypto Crack, my man. A little bit of banter back there, back and forth. Looks like we've got 3,500 watts there. 1% pool fees puts us at, wow, that really took a huge dip. Oh, that's because we're at 6 cents per kilowatt hour. Let's go back up to 8. Nope. Back at $15,000 for one full Bitcoin. $15,000. Make your pocket wanna holla. Lose all your money buying yourself just one Bitcoin as it's mined, as you're converting electricity to make it. All right. Yeah, this is not the finest time to be enjoying crypto profits from mining, but it is part of the experience. I still think that mining is the air quotes gateway drug to cryptocurrency addiction. And I think that it's an important thing that everybody try out because it forces you to learn so much about wallets, so much about how the network actually works, about how frequently rewards are paid out, and about why they are paid out. You really get a solid sense for what all of blockchain is all about. Even proof of stake. You benefit from doing some proof of work first. Just saying. It's kind of like a rite of passage. I think everybody should try it. But let's jump back into what to mine. This is a fun one. Let's take a look at the full lineup. Take a current top-of-the-line card, an RTX 3090, because it's not as expensive as a 4090, and it's still high performance. Let's go back over to that 8 cent per kilowatt hour power figure. And then let's go profitability. Instead of for every day, let's go every 7 days. And then averages, let's go every 7 days there as well. Let's not put any cap. Not put any cap on the volume filter for right now. And we could adjust some of the exchanges that we want to get the information back from. I'm very partial to Trade Ogre. And of all the other options listed, I guess probably maybe Stex. Maybe. Yeah, they don't have many other options. It's too bad. But let's just leave it at that. And at any volume, we can find stuff that it has really low trading volume. And it's not really a big problem. Yeah, not too big a problem as far as market cap volume here. NiceHash is pretty liquid market. Cortex is over 44 Bitcoin every day. Even Zano is almost 3 Bitcoin every single day. That's a lot of trading volume, actually, over on Stex. Ryo, of course, at 0.03 Bitcoin. I don't think it deserves to be in this lineup. So maybe we should put a volume filter of half a Bitcoin. We could even just put 0.1, and that would be enough to shake that free out of our lineup so we don't get a false positive there. Alephium makes the cut. And then, yeah, several versions of NiceHash make the cut. Bitcoin Gold is there, but the only one that's profitable is, well, none of them. Not one. There's not one single coin that's profitable to mine on 8 cent power for an RTX 3090. Ooh, that is rough. Geek of All Trades asks, mind your biz, do you own any ASICs or are you GPU only for life? I've actually got an ASIC graveyard just behind this little set piece right here. I've got, I'm not going to name how many, but I've got several, what are they, gosh, what's the model number? The 1600 watt Bitmain power supplies. Yes, I'll mess with ASICs for sure. Jesse M says, I see that crypto banter belt. Why? Nice. When are we going to see you and Ran with the alpha? Hey, appreciate that. Yeah, this is the crypto banter belt. This is something that that was not picked up by Ran and his team. I've got another one incoming. So I've got my belt there from being from winning a Micro Influence Award. I really appreciate that. It does mean a lot. As you know, we're making the transition here to the new home for Mind Your Biz, and it is a long-term play. So thank you for your ongoing support. Thank you for trusting in the process and sticking with me here. Thank you for making the transition from the other channel over to here. We'll continue to publish shorts on the other channel. It's just going to take a little bit of time to backfill our content schedule. this stuff takes time. That's why you saw that I dressed up the set behind me, and I've been doing more of this, just the streaming. It's so much simpler to do it that way than to try to chop up all the other videos, but we're still doing those too, right? Like, I'm interviewing far more people. I've got at least a couple more interviews in the pipeline that are ready to go. Like, they're already in the can. And then numerous interviews coming up this weekend that will then be released over time. Have hardware wallet reviews that have yet to be released from EliPal, from Foundation Devices that were already shot, also in the can. So lots of content there that's just kind of been sidelined for a while I prepare it. Hey, Mom Biz. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You want to say hello to the folks? I can flip your mic on. You say hello.
Hey, hey, miners.
Ooh, that's great. Got some kombucha. Thank you so much. Tasty kombucha.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Oh, very good stuff. Let's see. Crypto Crag asks, do you have any conferences coming up or podcasts? I think as far as additional podcasts, I'm going to be back on Around the Blockchain very, very soon. They have asked me to help coordinate an all mining episode. So if you want to go tease Bits Be Trippin', in my opinion, Bits Be Trippin' is like, he is the grand master, right? He's the elder statesman of crypto mining content. So they really want him to be on that live stream for Around the Blockchain, not BitBoy's channel, but Around the Blockchain. They are their own channel now. And so it looks like we may do that. I don't think that Red Panda Mining is going to take them up on it because he's not, he's undoxed. He won't be on camera. But anyway, so yes, be several additional things coming down the pipeline. Appreciate that. Stick says, appreciate the working content. Thank you. Thank you. And Geek of All Trade says, hey, it's Mama Biz. Howdy.
Hello.
So we went through some news. I don't know if you knew this, but apparently...
What did I miss?
Russia is offering subsidies for crypto mining in Siberia.
Ooh.
They are pushing, the Russian Federation, their actual national leadership is pushing for crypto mining to be made legal again so that they can start generating revenue with mining.
Well, I do remember something in the news about a Russian exchange, or there was some, I knew there was something else happening. I didn't know about the mining, but I thought there was something with like them opening their own exchange or something so they could start, so that Russians could start paying for things with crypto.
Yeah, I think they're taking this pretty seriously. And that was not on my bingo card for the year 2023 that the Russian Federation starts embracing cryptocurrencies as is. No CBDCs, no strings attached.
Right, when we're about to lose, the right to do proof of stake in America?
We already have, essentially. Kraken just shut it down. It's not that, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Here's the thing. And if they do that, it's kind of like our inability to use privacy-preserving technology. It's always there. It's just, you have to be very, very creative. So yeah, that happened. We talked about that briefly. We also talked about how this whole the whole minting NFTs on Bitcoin through ordinals, right, and inscriptions.
What are ordinals?
So ordinals are basically, it's a numbering system for numbering all of the satoshis in each Bitcoin. There are 100 million satoshis in each Bitcoin, and ordinals helps you number each one. And the process of numbering each one makes it possible to create NFT projects that are associated with those individually or numbered satoshis. It's a little more, I made it a little more complex than maybe it needs to be, but I'm trying to be as specific as I can as well.
Okay, because people were talking about it on Twitter the other day, and I didn't know what they were talking about. So
yeah,
that's what ordinals are.
Yep.
Okay.
And then with those ordinals, you can create something called inscriptions, and inscriptions are the NFTs essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's more to it than just that. But yeah, so that happened as well. And then, yeah, Kraken, they were fined by the SEC $30 million. So they stopped staking immediately. They announced that in the US, you can't stake on their platform anyway, immediately. They can't see you move your head.
Our government sucks. Okay. Those were the thoughts in my head as we were talking about this.
You know what? I agree with that. There's quite a bit that's not quite right. There we go. Geek of All Trade says, nice. RPM might join if they let him just show his avatar. Appreciate that. Yeah, maybe, right? That'd be cool if he did. We went through some of our costs to mine. Went through some of the stuff that's actually profitable. I'm going to go back over to what to mine to see our stacked ranking for GPU well, GPU mining profits, go back at 8 cents per kilowatt hour and go for profit every 24 hours. And yeah, there's not many GPUs that are actually profitable. The RTX 3090 was not even on the list. The 3090 Ti is. Oh, no, I lied. It is. It's only Nexa. Again. Jeez. Yeah. It's just a rough time. It's a fine time to be getting involved in gear acquisition if you need that, but don't do it for the purpose of mining, in my opinion. Also, we looked up the current fees on Bitcoin versus Ethereum with all the ordinals and the inscriptions. It's hardly anything more. Not much at all. So everything is really calm, really inexpensive to buy right now, and inexpensive to send.
Are we up or down on Bitcoin?
So right now we are down, and the mining chopsticks.
No.
Yeah, we broke out to the down. See that big old red candle? I know, it's so sad.
Is that a little teeny tiny green one right after it?
It is.
There's hope, guys. That
Is there
little
hope?
spark of hope right there.
Oh, who's going to hope for our acquisition, though? Who's going to hope for our dollar cost averages? We want this. I want to go way down.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah.
$10,000.
It would be pretty amazing. I would be very content with 15 to 14-ish. That's kind of where I'm putting that top of the value buy range, but I agree. Portfolio time. We're going to quickly go through this because Mama Biz and myself, I think it's safe to say this is a very tiring day.
Yeah. I made dinner, though. I'm really proud of myself.
I'm proud of yourself.
I did something I did not want to do at all.
I appreciate that.
But it's getting done.
I mean, I wanted to work all day. I felt great.
I know. You were so excited.
I felt great
You
doing
woke
the
up and
job
said,
all
you know
day.
what I want to do all day? I want to work and work and work and work. Da, 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 da.
It was amazing. I loved it. Loved every hour. It was amazing. All right, so our portfolio, the whole portfolio, GPU mineable portfolio. Take a look at that. Proof of memes is down. Ooh, that could be good. That could be bad. Take a look at that. That is kind of our spec mining play. We do talk about that. Hey, disclosure, we know the proof of memes people. You've been around them.
I have?
Yeah, you have, whether you know it or not.
Who are they?
So we'll talk about that offline, but
Okay.
I know them very well too. We raced Lamborghinis illegally in the desert.
Well,
So-
then you know them. I
Yeah,
wasn't there.
Okay, well, you met them somewhere else. But yeah, we raced Lamborghinis illegally in the desert, which was a lot of fun. People who have to go to a racetrack to race Lamborghinis are not really racing. They're actually just being coddled by somebody that's there like, all right, gotta try to lean into this turn and stuff. Nope. Unless you're racing for pink slips or you're out to try to like cause somebody else to crash, it's not really racing, is it? No, it isn't.
Yeah, there must be the, fear of death involved somewhere in there.
Yeah.
How old are
Obviously.
you? Oh my gosh.
Just saying, man, if you don't fear death, then you're not really alive. I think that's just, can't argue that logic either.
Yeah, I'm just jealous because I didn't get to race in a Lamborghini either.
Oh, no.
I like adventure too.
I know.
Girls like to have fun too.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, you're right. We don't like doing anything fun.
Well, here we are. Over on Proof of Memes, we had a lot of fun in Miami. And, yep, that's where we met them. But yeah, their chart is not looking its healthiest right now. It's down probably its worst. But I know they're still putting in development work. That's what I'm getting at. They're still putting in development work. I mean, they're down considerably from their all-time high, but that was an initial listing pump. So we've kind of found that support for some time, right? 0.008 all the way down to 0.003. I don't know. If it doesn't die, then it should be able to find some way to return after this point. Had a lot of volume, kind of like clearly some sort of automated volume happening somewhere in between there, and it just didn't work. I don't know who did that. I doubt the team would have. They're smarter than that. But yeah, very interesting. Indeed. Very, very interesting. But it is GPU mineable, or it was GPU mineable, so I'm curious to see how it goes after a certain point. But Proof of Memes is our biggest loser this last 7 days. Biggest winner in GPU mining is Cortex, Caspa, and the Nexa. Hard drive mineable coins, Arweave, least performant. Sicoin, most performant. Chia is about to make Paul D's nuts rich. Integra Guy says, definitely felt the death a little when my car caught on fire at the racetrack with me in it. Ooh.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yikes.
That's amazing.
Sounds like quite a story.
Yeah, dude. That's amazing.
Okay, true story. I am in a movie called Speedway Junkies as an extra, but as a prominent extra.
Yep, that's all we're going to say about that, because now you guys are going to go look that up and be like, oh, that's you.
Yeah, so there's like a race car movie, right? I don't think even think it's a race car movie. It's about someone who wants to get to the speedway. I tried to watch it. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we compared our Hollywood extra stories. I think mine's better.
Yours is better. Yours is way better. I saw that movie before I knew you.
Yeah. I'm not going to say what it is, because if anybody looks that up, it'll be like, what? What?
There were so many extras. You can't pick me out.
Yeah.
No one will know who I am.
That's the thing about extra work, too, is at that phase, too, or everybody always gets asked to do extra work for free by a friend.
Right.
Yeah, if you're in that place. So it's kind of a bummer. But anyway, Jess says, how about that lucky guy who solo mined a block on January 20th? 6 Bitcoin, 1 in 26 million odds. I know. Seriously, it does kind of make the case for solo mining, but at the same time, if you're going to solo mine, you may as well just solo mine at extremely low power. If you're going to do it, that's the way you do it. That's like your scratch off ticket for Bitcoin mining, is just take a little USB miner, spend nothing on it, or get a Raspberry Pi or an old laptop and let it or better still, let the Bitcoin Core wallet mine for you somewhere on on a work computer. You didn't hear me say that, but yeah, you did. Okay, yeah, do that at work. Anyway.
Did you put the little red flyer up yet?
Did I? Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I disclaimed myself.
Good job.
Yeah. Varus Coin is down 50%. Epic Cash is up 14%. We may have Max Freeman on the channel soon. And I just want to thank the Epic Cash community. So when I'm interviewing projects these days, I do spend some Saturdays on it. And I don't ask for payment, but if donations are offered, I do accept them. We do accept donations for some of those interviews. I just want to say thank you to the Epic Cash community for sending a donation in advance. And I barely checked the wallet that we have set up, because they asked, do you have an Epic Cash wallet address? Thing about Epic Cash is it's a coin that doesn't normally use wallet addresses. So they had to make a special system for it. Long story short, they were very kind and very generous. They sent some coins over, but I committed to doing the interview, whether or not anything would be paid. I don't have a published rate, and I don't know. I've got half of mine to just give them away. Mom is saying, no, we never see you.
Nope.
You earned every penny of that.
Sorry, guys, we're keeping it.
Yeah. All right.
Mama Biz is keeping the bag.
This is going to be Mama Biz's first privacy coin. So Geek of All Trades says, mind your biz, I've hit almost 30 Caspa blocks solo mining over the last 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. I think right now there's relative difficulty on a lot of these more speculative networks is pretty low, because a lot of us have turned off our rigs. So solo mining actually is kind of fun. It is a form of spec mining these days. Your luck is higher on some of those networks. So consider that too. Awesome. Good for you. ASIC mining. Cadena is down. Decred is up. Oh, yeah, I am going to be meeting with somebody from the Decred team. Here's the funny thing. I offered to do the privacy interviews for free. Somebody from a paid PR firm reached out to set up my free interview. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I do have some ideological hangups for that when somebody from a PR firm who's clearly getting paid is asking me to do free work.
Because you just want that for projects, right? It's not like a...
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I really want it for grassroots projects. And so when somebody's like, oh, you're from a high-power PR firm and you are getting paid to do this. Why would I do you a favor like that? It's not like the project leadership contacted me. You did. A little weird, a little scummy, actually. So, I don't know. Maybe that gets published. Maybe it doesn't. But
now that interview is going to go so well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, here's the thing. If they've got a fundamentally good privacy project, then great. It's like the team at Session and Loki and Oxen. They reached out to ask for a follow-up interview. This would be the fourth free interview that I've done with them.
Yeah.
And so, I don't have a problem with that. They're building a good project. They raised funds years ago, and they did pretty well. So So yeah, I don't know. If they're building good privacy, I don't see a huge problem with it. But you tell me, Mind Your Biz community, is there an ideological problem with accepting bounties or payment for certain kinds of interviews? During bear markets, I tend to try to offer as much free time as I can, exposure to good projects, because they're still building, and I want to incentivize good behavior. So I don't know. You tell me. Help me establish my true north here. Calibrate my moral compass. But let's see, FPGAs. You already ordered that? We did. Cadena, bottom of the list. Caspa, the top. Somebody mentioned that's mineable there. Proof of stake smart contracts. Phantom is our biggest loser. What's our biggest winner? It's Casper. Wow. Casper is really coming up. And then top 5 includes Polygon and Neo. Interesting. Junk drawer. This is the one where we have the highly speculative stuff. Dypius is the biggest loser. Zen Crypto, second biggest loser. Man, they just took a beating. Gold Retriever is also down. This is the one that I talked about on our channel, down to 60 cents. And it looks like it's not exactly, I wouldn't call it free fall, but it definitely has pretty strong downward motion in its price action. So last 30 days, kind of consistent downward bounces. So I'm not going to tell anybody wait for even lower pricing than that. Clearly the volume went up as this price has been going down. So there are some people accumulating somewhere, but yeah, the fundamentals seem to be there. So I'm surprised that people aren't keeping the price up. Kind of sad, but that's the top 3 for biggest losers. Biggest winners include Voltinu, Hex, and Maximus DAO. They are up significantly, as well as Luffy and Hedron to right off the top 5. IBC gang, what do you got for us? Regen, you lost. Sentinel, you win. That's very strange. Very strange indeed. Yeah, they basically doubled their market cap. That couldn't be manipulated, could it?
No, who would do that?
Nobody.
Everyone in crypto is very honest.
We run an honest game around here.
I don't think it's manipulated at all.
Honest poker game. 10 set gems. We got the main asset, 10 set down by 20%. Fame MMA is back up, but it's kind of flip-flopping the last little while. Conga Exchange is also close to that $3 mark. Good to see. I want to see that they are solvent. I want to see that they are able to continue doing business. Stables, we're skipping you. GPU ETH replacements, skipping you. RH ecosystem, we already know things are going a little better, but we'll skip that too. And then Dogecoin or Dogechain ecosystem. Doge, Eat Doge, KibleSwap, and MetaDoge are all going up by double digits. Everything else is down by double digits, including DC, the main asset. So if you think that Dogechain is going to make it, if you think that there's something fundamentally all right being built here, then maybe pay attention to it being on sale. Just something to consider. All right, Mama Biz, I'm tired. We've been streaming for almost an hour.
And I was going to run and get a coat because it's freezing in here.
Yeah, I think maybe instead of you running and get a coat, I go with you and I just help you warm up.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate your support. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz.